Welcome to the stream, guys. I think we got everything set up. Let me just do something real quick. Okay, welcome to the channel. This is Reliable Rudy. Before we go over any technical analysis, you guys know I'm not a licensed financial advisor, just purely entertainment and simply stating my opinion on some of this stuff. Uh, but I do think that it's educational in some senses, and I think you're going to learn information as well. So let's go into some of the technicals. Let me turn this off over here. Alright, let's go over the Nasdaq. So let's pull up the NQ. Now catching a nice bid here on a 15-minute chart. Nothing changes. There's a lot of panic in this market right now because it's a large red day. But this is just playing the course, guys. We just recently went positive. It doesn't mean that you just go straight through the roof. It just means that you're taking this as in the bulls are in control, especially if we're over top of this EMA, so 11,450. I would say if you're over that, the bulls are in control. And where are we at? We're back testing the previous high, which if you guys tuned in for the live stream yesterday, we were trying to hit the SQQ to the short side. Now, I gotta inform you guys that this was a complete disaster. We had it. We had the entry that we loved. We came down, we had this nice little trend line marked, and we had stops in at 11 or 41.65. And we had all sorts of ends as we're pushing over 42, push over 42, we hold 42, we backtest 42 again. Now, what did I do at the end of the day? I panicked. We were elevated. We got the positive break here. Boom, boom, positive break on this consolidation period, and we got scared out of our position right here. So we had the short all day, the gap up all day. We panicked, sold, and it's a good learning experience for sure. But at the end of the day, the reason why we cut the position, we cut the short, is because the TQ on a 15-minute chart did look bearish. But on a daily chart, we said to ourselves, who do we expect to be in control of this? And it's the bulls, because we're positive. That's in retrospect, we had the right idea. We were looking for pullbacks to this previous high and the body of the candle, and we knew we had an uptrend. If we marked this uptrend, we knew we had an uptrend. So we paper handed it. Okay, that doesn't mean that there's not deals out there today, guys. It does not mean that. They're when you're positive positive and just barely eking over this positive positive, even on the commodity channel down here, if I were to mark this, you have an uptrend on your commodity channel, an upward channel. Boom. If this keeps churning away, same thing on your 20 commodity. I should pull this up a little bit. Guys, a lot of good volume came in. This is just profit taking over here. We set it back here. We're getting ready to go positive. We eked over positive. Okay, we're back negative. Let's wait for this to turn back positive. Where do we go positive again? Right in the next candle. And boom. Now we're just getting a little bit more profit taking. Why did we see profit taking? We've been calling out this gap the whole time. Is it reasonable for a uh, sell off down to this trend line, which is where we came down to today? You guys see the channel right here. Boom. And you see the U shape. How many of them? Go on a run. Okay, you have a gnarly gap. Here's your first initial run right up here. But you leave this gap behind. Okay, now gap's filled. What holds? The support holds. Boom, we hold support. We do set a close below it, but gap up very next day. And now we're starting this channel upward that seems to be fairly gap free. It looks like we got this one, but it attempted to come down to it multiple times and was bought up. So yes, there's going to be deals out there. I don't know why there's so much panic in the market right now. I mean, set a stop on your positions. If your individual positions don't look like this, go ahead and set a stop. But the market looks relatively strong. We're still holding positive, positive down here. I should get rid of these. Uh, but yeah, market looks strong. But you go to some of these big cap names now. Maybe it's changed since I went and got a little bite to eat and refilled coffee. But let's just go with Amazon. Amazon. Okay, it left this double top look on a day where there was some profit taking on the TQ or the Nasdaq. Okay, you get this gap down. You hold the 50 period. Your 50 period sitting at 91.50. I know because I looked at it this morning. Held the 50 period, but let's go to a 15-minute chart. Here's the difference, guys. The only reason why you're not seeing big volume come into this is because you're negative negative on a 15-minute chart, in my opinion. Now, if you're looking for early entries on a stock that, if we go back to a daily, you're positive. You're positive, positive. You're expecting the bulls to be in control. We go back to a 15-minute chart. Look at this breakout price. Just so happens to be at 95 flat. If you catch a bid over 95, expect a little profit taken at this 96.30. But if you get back up to 96.30, look at where we're at. Yeah, this trend line's probably not sustainable. But now that people can put this trend line in, this might be a little bit more sustainable. Okay, catch a little bit of resistance at the gap fill and this double top. You trade back down, you're still positive. You can catch a bid, maybe it goes on a run, builds a U shape. We're talking about this next week maybe, and we're talking about breakout price above 96.50 probably. You know, so yeah, that is the story for the large caps. We go to any large cap, we go look at Google, look at the profit taking that happened in Google. Boom, down 3%. Everyone's in full panic mode, but we're positive, positive. Let's go to a 15-minute chart and let's potentially look to add to this position. Look, we're down here negative, negative. It's just a day behind, and this is what I've been saying about oil. Let's go take a look at oil because this is very important and why I wanted the live stream right now. We go to the day chart. This is the pullback that we're getting in the Nasdaq today. It's just a day behind oil. Look at the way oil's set up. We went positive, positive over here. Okay, you get your next leg up. Exactly how it is on the Nasdaq. Now you're getting 2 days consolidation period right here where you're still positive. You're expecting the bulls to be in favor. Now I will just take those indicators out of there. But you're expecting the buyers to come back in. We go to a 15-minute chart. Where are we when we're way down negative? We're down way negative over here. Look, we just trade sideways all yesterday. This is what I'm expecting with the TQ. And I know Microsoft reported earnings. Okay. Uh, mixed board. Some people are saying that it's good. Some people are saying bad. We'll go take a look at Microsoft after this. But look at the consolidation on oil. Now look at the confirmed positive, positive on your 15. Boom. Consolidation period. Boom. Now you're setting new highs on oil. We have a couple buys in oil, but we're still waiting for a couple plays to catch a bid on oil as well. So let's start looking for some of these oil plays. I believe Den is an oil play. Look at this. Comparing it to Microsoft and Google, Den could catch a bid. Let's see how it acts with this gap right here. Let's expect a little bit of sell-off right there, and let's wait for this to go positive, positive. Dino. Okay, way down. Maybe Dino isn't the play, but Dino was definitely the play at the breakout of this 54. Boom, 53.50. Boom. Nice run. Now, there's your consolidation period. You're just going positive. So you're expecting buyers to come in. You know, if this got a bid down to the middle of this green candle right here, maybe even this previous high is your downward word action, but this does not look half bad. DVN eked positive. Now, here's your sell off. Now, look at this candle that's coming in. Let's go to a 15-minute chart on DVN. You're above your EMA. You're still negative, but getting ready to go positive on your 20. And if you go positive on this 50, you know, DVN is going to be a play that we look at. EEX, we are positive, positive. I don't know if this is oil or not. I thought that it might have been. No, I don't think it is. But, you know, look at the continuation there. Uh, EOG is an oil play. Now, same story, guys. Look at this. Look at this. And we caught action right at the trend line. You gap down. It actually filled the gap down price. It's already filled the gap. This looks pretty good. You're positive. You're just barely negative at the current price. So let's go into a 15-minute chart and see if we can find anything here. Oops. So right here, I can see this trend line that I have drawn right here. Boom, look at that. It just so happens we have a nice ascending channel right here. That is gorgeous, guys. Isn't that just beautiful? Now, here's your volume. You're fighting. You filled the gap down. So where's our gap down at? It should be something on here. Okay, here's Tuesday. Okay, there's our gap down. I found it. Boom. Tried to fill it in the second candle. Hard rejection down to the trend line. Taps that gap this time. Now we're getting a little bit of consolidation. Now, if it takes out that price, you can expect price action to go. You know, you could have early entries right there at that 133 or 132.50, but EOG not looking half bad. EQT, that's not an oil play. Yeah, just turning into looks like a short right here. We already had a few outs on XL. We had a nice run, had some good entries at 1650 break. Now just needs a little consolidation before we're talking about breakout prices above the 1750 probably. EXP, nope. Fang, how many oil plays I gotta show you that look like this? You're positive, positive on a daily. You just got done. This is your second day of consolidation period. And here we are. You're right here. As soon as this goes positive, positive, you're already looking at breakout prices above this, probably 147. Doesn't look half bad. Fastenal, we bought some Fastenal today. We just wanted to test the waters with it. But probably more realistic, but this one is one that has been edging this positive, positive, and we're looking at breakout price on Fastenal probably at this 49.50, but you know, all yesterday's high was at 49.70, so Fastenal definitely one to keep on watch. We like the earnings report. We like the forward guidance that we got with Fastenal, and it's looking like confirmed higher low right here. So let's see if we can eventually talk about breakout prices above this 53.50. Fastenal not half bad. Farmers got stopped out of some shares on Farmers. You know, is what it is. It looked like a short. We called it out that it looked like a short. It back tested the EMA perfectly. We got the gap down. As soon as we took out this wick bottom, I think our stop was at 1370. So a little bit lower, but yeah, you know, it happens. But look at that stop. Saved us, you know, 50 cents for each share that we sold. We're still actually holding a little piece of this. You know, we'll see where that goes. Not a large position. FVRR, great profits yesterday. Why did we have to take profits? Because look at this gap fill. It's already telling us, hey, look for consolidation periods down. You know, it got over top of that 37. I originally had a 37.05 order, and then we marketed out of some shares at the same shares I was trying to sell at 37.05 at 36.84. So yeah, not terrible. You know, it came up, but this pullback is healthy pullback to me. Google, that wick, he's still at this gap fill here at 93.90. Now, what did we say? We said we don't need to worry about selling on this day because we think we're gonna get at least 100. How about that? Gorgeous. Um, INDO, these oil plays need to be on watch, and you can see, respecting the channel that I drawn out right here, getting ready to go positive on your 50. Now your 20 is just lagging behind a little bit. If this can catch a bid over 620 again, that looks pretty good. Hussa, same story. Yeah, and it needs to catch more of a bid here on Hussa, but it was due for a pullback right there. Caught a little bit of resistance here. Let's see if it can curl and build a nice U shape right there on Hussa. IIPR is the new one we threw on the watch list. Nowhere near taking this trade. But we did say that it looked like a short when it reclaimed this negative on this big gap down day. And, it looks like we filled this gap fill. So this is why it's on the watch list. Got good action off that gap fill. But a long ways to go. You broke down. The shorts are in. Let's see if this can keep churning to the downside and maybe start picking up some momentum down here at this 65. We'd love to pick this up when we feel the bulls are starting to take control of it. But way down here in the negative period, that's just a new one that we have on the watch. Intel, we did put a stop in today, and they do have earnings coming up, but we're looking at 28 flat. Got some really good entries here, got some bad entries. This is a bad hold for me, but did respect this previous high and a little bit of a pullback. That doesn't mean that we don't have that. And we're wicking into it right now. Let's see what a 15-minute chart looks like on Intel. Yeah, you're still down here negative. You're fighting to get over this 29.50 and hold above it. Well, we're above it right now, but you still have a gap fill right here on Intel. So yeah, definitely one to keep on watch. From Framework Fortune, do you think silver coming down? Silver. Silver looks bullish on a 15-minute chart. It looks like a hold to me. On a daily chart, you're still holding positive. I think that you can get sideways consolidation here and eventually start building out a U shape where we're talking about breakout price above this 24.50. And if you do get a breakout above that 24.50, I got a trend line and some previous resistance over here up at these 25s, 25.50s. So I'd say silver looks pretty decent. If you had the entry on silver down here, when we go positive at 1930, take this consolidation. Now let's say you didn't get the 1930, the 1950. The breakout of 1950 is starting to look pretty, or 20. Call it 20 flat. These top wicks right here, boom. And then even consolidation period, late entries right here. And you rode a wave up on oil. The price on silver right now is at 23.75. So yeah, great entries down here. Where it turns positive, we're looking at almost 20% on silver. So I think this sideways consolidation, if you were looking for a stop loss, this could end up turning negative. So you do have to keep that in effect. This wick could have wicked you out right there though. That's the only thing. So call it 23 flat, a little bit under 23. If it gets down into this range, you are getting negative. It depends on where the entry is. And we do want to keep an eye on oil. But oil looks pretty good. Oil way elevated on your 50. Testing previous highs right now. I'd say oil is, be big. We did have this on watch. It gapped up intraday. And look, we are getting ready to go positive on a 15. If this wants to test up here at this 44 or 64, be big might be a play that we take. You can see here on a daily chart, holding decent support here. I'd be surprised if there wasn't some sort of moving average it's holding above right there. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I would guess that there probably is with that action. But you are positive. If we go positive on a 15-minute chart, how many of them have I showed you? Where we go on a run, we build a U shape, and we're talking about breakout price up here at these 80s. Potential run, let's say you get a 65 break right there, into these highs right here, these retracements right here, 16% run. So definitely one that we'll go from the second wick right there, retracements up to 75. So talking about taking 10 cents on a stock under, yeah, decent size potential run right there would be big. So, and you do have an uptrend right here that could be potentially building. So that is one that we're definitely going to want to keep on watch, I think. But not yet though. We're still negative right here. Let's wait for it to truly pass our rules and see if it can consistently close above this EMA right here is what we're looking. Oil, yeah, oil looks good. You know, the oil itself, this is West Texas. Uh, elevated on a 15-minute and you're testing previous highs. You got buyers right there. You have decreasing red volume and there's 30 seconds left on this. Not that much profit taken after this green volume coming in right here. And for decreasing volume, you'd want to see one more candle with if it decreases volume on the next 15-minute chart and then the next candle elevates with a green candle, you are going to take out this high price in oil in my opinion. But the key spot, the key area, you do have a downtrend right here depending on how you set this. So people could have this marked as, okay, we're tapping the downtrend right now. But next candle already opening up green, and we'll see where this goes. But I think the true breakout price is going to be this 82.50. This is marked at 82.66, but we go over to a daily chart. You're positive on oil. You're expecting the buyers to be coming in, and here's your 82.50. It pulls all the ways over to here. So we actually did take an oil play. I should be paying attention to it more, but I'm not the most worried about it. Is PSX. We had two different entries, one off 117.05. We'll go and show the exact order. So, like oil, this went positive right here. Let's go look at the daily chart first. So, we're positive. We didn't get any consolidation pullbacks here, but now it's actually catching a bit. 17 or 107.38, but we did reclaim positive. We're going to be talking about breakout price above this 109 in my opinion, but we go back to the 15-minute chart. Boom, you break over this top. This isn't where the entry is. Now we're looking for a consolidation period as you go positive. Where do we put the order? Let's take the candle body. The candle body's at 107.01. We put the order in off 107.05. Boom, gets triggered, and then we FOMO'd in at like 107.26 for a second fill. And yeah, so continued to consolidate here, but holding positive. So we're expecting the volume to come in. If it doesn't, maybe we'll reanalyze it. NOG was one that we wanted to keep an eye on in OG. Just waiting for it to come positive right here, but early entries, if you wanted to try and FOMO this break at 32, doesn't look half bad. NRG, we've been keeping an eye at the 33 break. This is one that's still down here negative, but we like the potential for this to eventually possibly reclaim this gap. Now I know there's going to be outs on the way, and realistically probably just going to trade sideways a bit longer. But yesterday actually caught a little bit of a bid. Let's look at yesterday. So yesterday, and the market was down, but look at where we go positive right here. This was the day before. Boom, we go positive, we stay bullish, and now goes on a run, builds a U shape. We thought that this was going to get up to that 33. Got rejected off of it though. This is the key in knowing where that true breakout price is and why is that the breakout price. Look, here's your high right over here. Boom, right over there. So yeah, could it continue to have some sort of uptrend right here? I don't know if this is a fairly parallel channel. It just, when they're negative still, just waiting to go positive, you're taking a gamble. So this one is one to keep on watch in my opinion. OXY, the daily chart, a lot of crazy action in some of these big oil plays, but it did eke positive. Let's wait for this to come back and see if this can get positive again. This is OXY. Yeah, and a little bit weaker compared to some of the other oil plays here. PDCE, showing a little bit of weakness on the 15-minute chart, but it got very close to a breakout price. This wick came very close to this, but you do have this gap fill at 68.70. So rig continuing to catch a bid right here, setting new highs again on rig. RRC, still a little bit too far down there on the negative. Let's keep an eye on that. VLO, not quite yet. 3M's a new one that we threw on the watch. We looked at the earnings report, wasn't the greatest, but it's 3M and it's one that's still elevated down on the negative. So we're looking for when this is going to start churning to the upside. Is it going to set a confirmed higher low? This is one of those. Let's look at this. We can even run a replay on this if you guys want to. So down here, it's just hovering sideways on your commodity down here. Let's see the next candle. Boom. Okay. Maybe it gets on your watch list here, but you're still negative. Boom. Okay, you're positive. You're looking for consolidations into the middle of this green candle, and maybe you have to hold a piece all the way down to this 118.50. Okay, there's your consolidation period. It'd be a tough entry, but let's just FOMO into this and see how it would do. Okay, quick exits right here, but you're still positive. Are you gonna panic right here? Okay, here's your consolidation more into the middle of this green candle that you're looking for. Maybe this is the entry that you were looking for. So let's add a piece right there. And boom, starting to work for us. And boom, just like that, like a clock, we got a position that's $37 in the money, and we're letting it ride. If we get another leg up, we'll take some off the top. Starting to go against us. If this goes against us, we'll just cut the position. Would have held some resilience right there holding that, but the buyers come in. Boom, getting ready to go negative, potentially a stop order underneath these wicks. You're at a flat position. Let's give it one more candle. Okay, well, let's stop out of this. We take a $6 hit. Wow, would you look at that, guys? Now, if this rolls back positive, let's take the position back. Boom. Now let's wait for it to reclaim your moving average. Getting ready to reclaim the moving average. We can have consolidation orders in off this 124.50. Let's buy a little bit. Boom. Here's your consolidation. Closes above it. We want to see it open up green. Get back positive. Boom. Opens up green. Here's your attempt to fill the gap. There is your entry. Let's FOMO into this. Boom, just like that, negative, negative. This is why the crucial orders on the pullback is the difference in being a negative and a positive trade. But you go negative, you break your EMA, let's buy it again at another date. And that's where we're at. You see what I'm saying? There was no true opportunity for the longs to make money. They just got faked out. That's all I showed you guys in that example right there, is the longs just got faked out. So let's see if this can start curling up, and the longs are waiting for this to turn positive again, where they can take a true entry. There was no money to be made in that for the swing traders or momentum traders unless you were taking a pieces off the top. That's the way that I see it. So 3M definitely going to be one to keep on watch, probably for a couple of weeks down the road, let's say. PSX on a day chart looks pretty good, but you have this potential double top coming in. 15-minute chart, you're still holding positive. Goes on a run, builds a U shape. I'm sure there's some sort of trend line in right there, and I'm sure there's some sort of downtrend right there. Which way is it going to choose? We're positive. I think that the bulls can hold strong with this. Let's go take a look at B Big. I think some of the oil can just be on watch right now. And here's why. Oil itself is in this consolidation period. Let's see what oil starts doing when we catch another leg up. If it does, of course. But we can take a look at Tesla. Tesla actually showing strength compared to some of these other plays. Uh, it is starting to eke positive a little bit. A little bit. So we're going to be talking about potential breakout prices on Tesla at this 144 basically, but that just so happens to be the gap. So you gap down, it attempts to fill the gap, it didn't quite get there. So keep that gap on watch with Tesla, but on a daily chart, has a solid channel to the upward that we've had marked right there, and it can probably be put somewhere like this. And yeah, that doesn't look that bad. But you are still slightly negative. If it catches a bid, which it has earnings after hours, it can go positive. So, I mean, if Tesla catches a bid, you know, you could see this gap up over this entirely, and we could be seeing Tesla at this 165 tomorrow. Who knows? But you also could see it down here at this gap fill at 122, and then you got another gap fill down here at 113. So, gonna look at the earnings report, not gonna force into any Tesla, and we will take it from there. Amazon continuing to churn away, guys. Let's go look at the 15-minute here. Yeah, we're just waiting for this to break positive. We can up this position potentially a little bit. Looks pretty decent. Baba holding positive. Had some fake outs. I'm sure some people had some stop losses put in here. And the buyers bear trapped them. I'm sure you had some shorters breakout price so it could come down, fill this gap even. So that's probably part of the increase in this volume. A lot of stops getting triggered. Be big, actually turning green on the day. Be big is going to be one to watch right here. I think out of everything, day trade wise, I think this is going to be the trade that we end up taking. Yeah, it doesn't look that bad. Getting a confirmed higher low right here too. After a 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, this is screaming 75, in my opinion. For a retracement phase, you got a nice 5-wave structure built in here in some way, shape, or form. You have a 1, 2, ABC in the early works with this confirmed higher low. You're getting ready to go positive. You're positive on a daily chart. Just for video's sake, let's go pull up our moving averages on Be Big and see what type of major moving average we're sitting on here. Yeah, it's got to be something. So I'm gonna pull this over here. I just pulled it up, and yeah, I mean, you break through that 50 period. How is it gonna act with our 5? Our 5 is sitting at 65. What did I say earlier, guys? 65 is going to be a potential breakout point, but look at how we're holding this 50 period. I mean, if you're looking for a stop loss, I'd say that 50 period is probably going to work good for you, where it's not going to go south any. But if it really truly gives up that 50 period, here's your 3 red candles, 1, 2, 3. You're looking for the next 3 after that for a potential bear flag to the downside. But the bulls are looking at it like this. Well, this is a nice increasing volume right here. 1, 2, 3. Decreasing volume. It did have one increasing, but decreasing from the green. If this starts curling up, goes on a run, builds a U shape, we could be talking about potentially breaking this 100 period right here. But up to that 75 is what I liked. That's right before that 100 period, so there is some built-in resistance right there. But Be Big, definitely going to be one that we keep on watch. Honestly, it's really not a half bad look right now, except for this resistance right here, which is why we have this line right here, because hey, you set a lower low. If it's at a lower high right here, it's still in place. So Not too much confirmation there yet. Let's just look at what's moving here, guys. Kazim. We traded Kazim yesterday. Looks pretty good for continuation. We go to a daily chart. We were worried for a potential big gap down right here. We are getting ready to go positive, positive. It's got the increasing volume, decreasing volume on this consolidation day. Instantly back in the money the next day with increasing volume. Now you have your buyers pretty much near that previous high right here. And, partway into this green candle. So, yeah, it doesn't look that bad. Comp. We said comp. Look for it to set a higher low from here. Here's your consolidation period. Filled this gap down. Let's clear out some of these drawings. I know that can probably be a little. I'm just immune to them. But we said, this gap down, fill this gap. Let's see if it can set a higher low right here and then start building this U shape. You're elevated, positive, positive on the daily chart. Comp could end up catching a bid. Let's look at the 15-minute chart here. And you're getting ready to go positive, positive. You know, it's right at this previous high. You're looking for consolidation. Previous candle top is right there. So you're looking for 3 cents of consolidation right there. Comp might not be a bad play. Is this a confirmed higher low? You can see here's your gap fill. You fill that gap, you trade at that, and then it turns a little bit bearish. When do we go negative? We go negative, negative right here. Boom. Negative, negative. We get the gap down today. Now we're getting ready to go back positive, positive, setting a higher low. And now we do have this next candle open right here. So comp and be big are definitely on watch. Rig, we're just holding the rig. We're waiting for this 670. We could think about this 650 as it's wicking right here, but your elevated looks pretty decent. WSM. Oh, we are going positive, positive here. Let's take a look at the daily on S. You are positive. Let's run the replay here. Let's run a replay here. So you're ready to go positive. You get the big gap up. You're getting ready to go positive. You could say, hey, I could dip into this for this gap fill right here if you wanted to. But let's wait for the 2 break positive. And boom. Right there. Still showing some weakness. Getting ready to go positive. Very close to going positive. You could have had breakouts of this top wick right there. Let's say we bought a couple of shares right there. Boom. Never went positive. Are we going to sell? No, we're still above this 115. I think you're good. And right there, boom, out. Stopped out more than likely. And, you do set a close above it. If this is setting a trend line right here, maybe we can buy it again at a later date up here. Not quite positive yet. Let's make this a little bigger for you guys so you guys can see them. Okay, now it's starting to catch a bid. Let's wait for this to go positive. Not quite positive. There's your positive break. You gap up. You could have had breakout over top of this high. Call it a 120 break. So let's say you got an entry in at 120 for a few shares. Now you're looking for consolidation periods. Boom. There's your consolidation. Let's up the position a little bit. And boom. Starting to work in the money. We can take a little piece off. Still positive, positive. Okay, big gap down, closing below the EMA. You're getting ready to go negative. You're taking a little bit of a hit, but let's buy it at a later date. You still have a trend line right here. You could have held for that trend line if you wanted to. And boom, now you're back positive, full green engulfing, but you have this gap right here. Let's wait for some sell off on the next day off that gap and then maybe buy some off this 122.50. Boom, fills the gap, it sells off. Here's your 122.50. And you're positive. And boom, you're kind of getting faked out, but you're still positive right here. You can set stop losses underneath 118. And that's where we're at. So stop losses could have got filled, but now we're turning back green. We're still positive. Let's go over to the 15-minute chart. Getting your consolidation period. Boom. Here's where you filled today's gap. Look at this gap. No selling pressure off that gap whatsoever. Full green engulfing through it. Now you're positive, positive on a 15. Doesn't look half bad. Let's see where this top wick comes. Right to the bottom of that. So let's say 122. Doesn't look half bad. 122. Let's see if this can get filled. I'm thinking about putting an order off this. Yeah, the only problem is you got this downtrend right there that's gonna have to fight through. But 122 uh doesn't look half bad. 122 does not look half bad. We're gonna keep that on watch. Veil, new highs, breaking through the downtrend. We had some outs over here. Didn't panic. We actually put a stop loss in underneath this wick at 1770. So we gave that whole quarter and then an extra 5 cents. Never even had to worry about it as it holds 18 and now it's turning bullish. Let's look at the bigger picture here, guys. Goes on a run, builds a U shape and a half right here. Who knows? Maybe we're talking about breakout price above this 2150. We got a cost average on this thing down here in the frickin' 13s. Just nursing this position. How about this one, guys? Boom. Still holding the original uptrend. Gorgeous, gorgeous. LPX, we said that this looked like a potential trade earlier today because oil. When do you go positive? Positive, positive on this break. You know, let's put an order in for this off of this 64.75. You know, some of these plays are starting to come in, guys, and everyone's panicking because we have a red day in the market, and people aren't used to that in 2023, I guess. But we are not going to shy away from some of these plays, and we're going to dip our toes in because we've been taking profits left and right. COSM still on a run. Looks pretty good. And, you know, maybe we're talking about breakout price at that 7. Let's see if we got anything there. Ooh, that is one thing that's going to be a little alarming is that gap fill at 708. So, yeah, we're not touching COSM, but we'll keep an eye on Compass. We'll keep an eye on Compass. We'll test the waters here as this is the consolidation period that we've been looking for. You know, we could test the waters with Compass as well because we do not have a position in Compass anymore. PSX caught a nice bid. Where's PSX at? It should be up here on the greens. You know, we're right at this 65 flat. I really think I should probably try to get an order and market, but a little consolidation period. Let's market and then put an order in. We're going to market for a couple shares here. LPX showing good strength, holding 65. Let's give it a go. Why not? And we're going to enter in one more order off this 64.75 just in case this wants to catch a little bit to the downside. LPX buy, and we're going to go for another little size right there. 64. We'll move it up even a little bit. We'll go 64.80. Orders. Let's look back at Compass. Compass. Okay, here we are. We're getting very close. Just barely positive though. And you know, we don't have the increasing red candle. Let's give this candle a little bit more time and see if we can start seeing a wick come in off of that at the end of this 15-minute candle. WSM down at this 122. This is what we said we were looking for, right? WSM, you know, it does have that downtrend, so no size on this at all, but let's start a position and see how it goes. You know, decreasing volume doesn't look half bad. We're going to test the waters there. And then be big. Be big still just holding right there. I don't know why it hasn't gone to the next candle, but we're going to keep be big on watch. Let's actually pull this up on the bid and ask over here and oh yeah, so it's actually down here. Be big's actually down here at this price. With not much size, so maybe we gotta wait. We gotta wait on be big. MRVI, we said, you know, we can give this trend line. And it doesn't look the greatest, but getting ready to eke back positive, positive. Let's look at the daily. The daily doesn't look the greatest either. So we said that we thought this was in a wedge pattern, but we did respect this uptrend right here. So let's see if this can curl up and actually truly break this downtrend that we have set. And the bigger picture is, look at this channel. So we're looking at early entries. Who knows? Maybe one day we're talking about exits up here at 20 and even 25. It's possible. I've seen crazier things in my day. PSX looks like a hold. It's not really getting any big selling pressure off of this PSX. Positive, positive, starting the slope up again. We got a green candle forming. A little bit increased red selling pressure here, but that's probably because of this previous wick right here. As you can see, it gaps up and fills the gap. Now this is what we're doing again. We gap up on the next candle again. And now we're going full green engulfing on this at the moment. Not quite. It tried to. Some of these oil plays looking, ooh, Tyson's Foods. One that we've just been watching. Why have we been watching it? Here's your run, build the U-shape. This was very minimal play right here. But it ends up closing consolidation as we would expect after these two green candles right there, a little consolidation period. Now getting ready to turn green, still holding positive. Let's go over to the 15-minute chart and you can see showing decent strength on the day, about to go positive. We're going to be talking about breakout prices above this 65.50 probably is what I would imagine. Let's Fastenal Reclaim 49. It does potentially have this, there's your shoulder, head, comes down to this low almost again. So it's going to have some resistance to fight through right here, but let's go look at why we like Fastenal. Because you have the run, potential build a U-shape. How many of them I showed you? Goes on a run, builds a U-shape. We got the confirmed higher low in. We even got a double bottom play on the earnings, which was a fake out. We thought the earnings looked good. And yeah, not many companies out there that have the growth and the sustainability with an increase on the dividend that we're actually buying before. So we're buying before this dividend. But there's your 4-cent increase in dividends. I mean, that's 13% give or take. I mean, we liked everything that we've seen here. Now we zoom out a little bit more. We have a down descending channel right here. So you could be like, oh, well, why are you buying it if it's at the top end of this channel? Well, here's why. Let's zoom out a little bit more. How's that? How's that for a channel? You guys see what I'm seeing? The longer you zoom out, the more information that you're going to see. So we started from going from right here, right, to saying, oh, looks pretty good. Then we zoom out, we identify, oh, it's right at a downtrend. And it's got a nice descending channel, but we do have a confirmed higher low. Goes on a run, builds a U-shape. What happens if we take out 54 over top of this, and then we're talking about, outs at 56, maybe even the all-time high again. Then we zoom out even more. And we go to this weekly chart, and we see this channel to the upside. Good earnings report. You don't have to worry about the earnings. Look at the commodity. You're setting a higher low on the commodity again on a weekly chart, potentially going positive. I mean, how many channels you hear out there talking about Fastenal, and this is looking like a beauty as we just went positive on a 15-minute chart. Doesn't look half bad. Does look like it's going to have a little bit of resistance. Could be a potential head and shoulders here, but it doesn't look half bad. So keeping an eye on it. Hussa, I don't know why these two charts just never stay updated for me. Good action off of this gap fill off IIPR. I thought about putting the order in early today because I was like, dude, this is just dropping. Where's our potential outs? Where can we see some guys taking some profits on this thing to the short side? There's your gap fill. Boom, fills it. What's that in right there? Right off the gap. You're 3% in the money. Could have been a starter position for you possibly. They have the sell off probably because they paid this massive dividend. It's a REIT. They got to give out 90% of their profits, and they're extremely profitable with good margins. Yeah. Um, only banger plays on Reliable Rudy's channel. But Lumen, we were thinking about this to potentially eat back positive. We had the 530. If it reclaimed 530, we can take the trade, getting a little bit of rejection right here. Okay, guys, yeah, so let's wrap it up real quick with oil. Oil catching a little bit of a bid to the downside. Okay, but you're still holding positive very well. I would expect a decent volume to come in here. As you can see, here is previous resistance. Now you're expecting it to act as support at this 80.50. Do you think 80.50 holds by the end of the day? I think it will hold by the end of the day. That's my opinion. But, we'll see. I've been wrong before. But I would expect oil to catch some volume. That's just my opinion, of course. But let's look at the NQ and maybe be big real quick. We do have this next candle open right here. Nah, just not yet. Be big is just not yet. It's not being big yet. And let's take a look at we'll just go at the TQ right here. And what'd we say? We said this is negative, negative, with a big gap down. Let's see if this just trades sideways for a while, and then we're talking about breakout price up here at 22 flat maybe. So, yeah, just key levels, guys. Stay true, find a rules or a tool set that works for you, and stay true to your rules. That's what I always say. Trade your own book, stay true to your own rules, and let's see if oil can hold this, and there we are. Like a clock, holding 80.50 and catching a bit. So I think oil plays are there, and I think Nasdaq plays are going to be there tomorrow and Friday. So with that, I'll leave you guys with a farewell, and we'll see you on the next